Hey, good afternoon. Happy Wednesday. Darren with the Herb Cooker. Welcome to another episode of the Herb Cooker Kitchen. It's an exciting day today. We are making two different items. We are going to be infusing peanut butter cups, homemade peanut butter cups. They are so good. And we are going to be infusing a stone fruit Galletta. So it's exciting. We're going to try to make things as easy and simple as possible since we're making two different dishes at the same time. I know there's several of you that have already told us that you're making things with us today. It's exciting. We really enjoy this. Thank you very much. Today we're using Ghost OG as our strain. Ghost OG is a hybrid. It really provides an even head and body high. For those of you that are looking to really even out how you feel, both body and mind. It's excellent for relaxation, stress, and anxiety. So if you're a little anxious, bipolar, it's an excellent strain for those conditions. For our peanut butter cups, we're going to be using a half a cup of butter, a half a cup of creamy peanut butter, 2/3 of a cup of graham cracker crumbs, 1 cup, oh my God, we're using chocolate chips, semi-sweet chocolate chips. We had told everybody that we were going to be using white chocolate, and wow, we wish we had that many comments and suggestions for recipes, but no, everyone's like, no, you don't use white chocolate, you use semi-sweet. So we bent, we folded, and we're going to be using 1 cup of semi-sweet chocolate chips. You also need 1 tablespoon of vegetable shortening. On a separate note, for your Galletta, if you're making the Galletta with us as well, 3 tablespoons of yogurt, 1/3 of a cup of cold ice water, 1 cup of flour, 1/4 cup of cornmeal, 1 tablespoon of sugar, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1 tablespoon of butter, 1 tablespoon plus a teaspoon of brown sugar. I'm using a peach and 2 plums and a couple tablespoons of honey. So I am the inventor of the herb cooker. I came up with the herb cooker because I do not like can of butter. People ask me all the time, why don't you like can of butter? First of all, it's difficult to make. Second of all, it's expensive. Third of all, it's time consuming. Fourth of all, when I make can of butter at home, everybody in the world knows that I'm making can of butter. So I came up with a better tasting, faster, easier way for you to infuse the edibles at home that you like to eat at home like a pro. And we are not professional cooks, but we're here to show you exactly what to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off my hash infusion for my Galletta, and then we're going to make the mixture, the filling for our peanut butter cups while our hash infusion process is on the stovetop. As always, use your herb cooker. Okay, it's really nice. You have an aluminum bowl. It's a machine spun aluminum bowl. It provides for even heat. Heat is the key. As always, with your herb cooker, it's 4 cups of tap water. Okay, you don't need distilled water. You can just use tap water. 4 cups of water right into your aluminum base bowl. It never ever changes. We have a stainless steel insert. The insert is here to retain as much of the heat inside the herb cooker as possible. Now, it doesn't matter whether you are on a gas stove, you're on an electric stove, you have a ceramic stove top, you have a camp stove. It doesn't matter what you use. This simply goes on any stovetop. So I'm going to put that right here, and I'm going to use 2 grams of Ghost OG. It smells wonderful, but I don't smell it anywhere else. Okay, and what we do, each of the herb cooker kits comes with a stoneware infusion bowl. They're all handcrafted, especially for the herb cooker, right here in Vallejo, California. 2 grams of hash. I was fortunate enough to find the Ghost OG at a wonderful dispensary down in Long Beach, Charlotte's Web. Okay, so I dump my hash in. use a pestle, use the bottom of a shot glass, use the bottom of a pill bottle. It doesn't matter. All we want to do is simply flatten the hash into the bottom of your stoneware infusion bowl. So it's just going to be flat like that. Okay, very simple, very easy. Your kit, the herb cooker, comes with your own bottle of vegetable glycerin. We use vegetable glycerin as the catalyst to activate the THC. It's a half a tablespoon per gram. Since I'm using 2 grams of Ghost OG today, I'm going to use 1 tablespoon of vegetable glycerin. So, fill this up. You can reorder your vegetable glycerin at theherbcooker.com. You can also pick up the herb cooker as a gift for someone else that you know could use the benefits of being able to infuse the foods that they want to eat, especially if you're on a special diet. All right. Another benefit to the herb cooker is there's no odor. So the vegetable glycerin never completely covers the hash. Don't worry about it. On our website and on Instagram, we do have a little video that shows you what the activation process looks like. And I'm just going to stick this right in the center of my herb cooker. And I am going to turn this on medium low. And this is going to go for about 14 minutes. We do not have our scorekeeper, our timekeeper today, Benji. Hope everything's well with you. We miss you. Come back soon. So we have our 2 grams of Ghost OG in for our Galletta. Now we're going to go ahead while that's going, and we're going to make our peanut butter filling for our peanut butter cups. I'm just using a large bowl, and we are going to use 1/2 cup of salted butter. So we're going to show you guys what the time lapse looks like. So that is 2 grams of hash. And what we're doing now is we're simply adding in 1 tablespoon of vegetable glycerin. This is a time lapse of the video itself. That was actually 10 minutes for the 2 grams into about 30 seconds. But if you notice, what happens is THC activates with heat. So that's what we're doing, is we're providing the heat to the trichomes of the plant, just the hash, so we're not having to strain out any plant material. And what we're doing here is I have a 1/2 cup of butter, and I am going to add in 1/2 cup of creamy peanut butter. Now, these peanut butter cups are so easy to make. They're so tasty, and they're really inexpensive to make. That's one of the best parts. So, first thing we're going to do is we're just going to mix this all up together. It's going to look like a huge mess. Okay, don't worry. Enjoy yourself. I use a hand mixer. You can use whatever mixer you want. You can blend it by hand if you don't have a hand mixer or a blender. Now that I have this blended in somewhat, I went ahead and pre-made 2 grams of Ghost OG earlier. The nice thing is you can make up hash infusions in advance, store them in the refrigerator up to 180 days. So when someone comes over or you're ready to make something, you can make it immediately. You don't even have to wait the 14 minutes for your hash to activate. It's that simple. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in my 2 grams of Ghost OG right to my peanut butter and my butter. Now, the nice thing about doing this in advance is it's all ready for me. And there's no odor. I didn't have to strain this afterwards because there's no plant material inside here. It's just the most beneficial part of the plant, which is we want everyone to use. Discover the strain that's right for you. Figure out what dosage works best, and you can make your edibles at home just like we are right now. So I've added in my peanut butter mixture. my hash. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add in our 2/3 of a cup of graham cracker crumbs. And I'm going to add in my powdered sugar. Makes a little bit of a mess. It's okay. I discovered that when I make this peanut butter cup mixture that for a while it looks awful and then it just creams right together. So it's simple. We have 2 grams of hash, a half a cup of softened butter, and we have a half a cup of creamy peanut butter. So you'll see what I'm talking about. For a while it looks like, oh, I need liquid. Don't worry, you don't need any liquid. Just keep mixing it together. Alright? Think about all the fun you're going to have making peanut butter cups, sharing peanut butter cups. There's not much taste of the cannabis in here. So don't do it as a joke. Always tell someone that you're offering them an infused item. Okay? This is starting to incorporate nicely. Let's go ahead and scrape our sides real fast, get everything in together. Once you have this combined well, you're going to want to stick this in the refrigerator to firm up just a little bit. So let's see how we're doing. Okay. I am so excited. Now we go. And this is mixed quite well. Get out that extra medicated goodness, that infused ghost OG in here. There we go. And what you're going to want to do is this typically goes into the refrigerator for an hour. Okay. All that wonderfully infused peanut butter, graham cracker crumbs, sugar. Oh, look at that. Okay. So that's the most difficult part of the peanut butter cups right there, is making a filling. You never knew that the filling was that simple to make, and it tastes amazing. Believe me, we all know at the herb cooker that taste matters. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to set it over to the side. Normally it's something that we would put into the refrigerator. I have my hash infusion going, and I have about 7 minutes left on that. So the next thing that we're going to do is we are going to work on our Galletta base, okay, while the hash process is going. With that, I'm going to use a food processor. This is very easy. If you remember, we are using 3 tablespoons of plain yogurt, and I'm using 1/3 of a cup of chilled water. First thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to mix these 2 together. Okay, so combine this up, and then we're just going to set this to the side. But just combine up the yogurt and the cold water, and we'll add this into our Galletta dough when we are done. So, okay. So the first thing is we've mixed up our yogurt and our cool water. We're going to set that to the side. I am going to take my 1 cup of flour, add it right into my food processor. If you don't have a food processor, you don't want to use a food processor, you can do this in a bowl by hand at home. So don't worry, it's extremely easy to do. So we're going to add in our cornmeal, my salt, my sugar. The next thing we're going to do is we are just going to pulse this together real fast. Okay. Just enough to combine everything. The next thing we're going to do is we are going to take our cold butter and we're going to add 7 tablespoons of the butter into the food processor, into the flour, the cornmeal, the salt, and the sugar. So all I do, take a hunk, drop it in, take another hunk, drop it in, until I get to my 7 tablespoons of butter. Okay. So it's not a difficult thing to do. We're going to use the rest of this butter for the Galletta itself. Now, all we want to do is we want to pulse this until it's combined. That's all we want to do. We don't want to do too much work to this. So we're going to go 1, and let me see what I get. Here we go. Okay. All right. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, all I've done in here is combine this with the butter. Okay. If you notice, it's not overly mixed. There's little pea-sized chunks in here. All those they're going to do is make us a nice flaky crust. So I'm going to go ahead and put this back on. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add in our yogurt and our cold water mix together. And we'll just pour those right in here. Okay. Now, we don't want to over combine this. All we want this to do is to stick together. So we're going to pulse it. And let's see what we've got. Oh yeah, this is beautiful. Okay. So, see how easy that was to combine? Absolutely no work. It's the same when you're making a pie crust. Don't overthink this. It's not a lot of work. The more you process any dough, the tougher it's going to be to work with. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of all these bowls real fast. Get these out of everybody's way. And our hash is almost done, but I think we have time to do this. I'm going to take 2 bowls. I'm going to take my blade out of my food processor. And I'm just going to get off as much of this dough as I can. Okay, just like that. Remember, everyone at home, we are not professional cooks. We don't expect you to be a professional cook. Let's face it, good tasting food is good tasting food. So, have some fun in the kitchen. People tell me all the time, oh, I couldn't make that. Yes, you can. And we're here to show you how easy most of these steps are. So I'm going to take half of my Galletta dough and I'm going to stick it into one of my bowls. I'm going to take the other half of my Galletta dough and stick it in the other bowl. Now, okay, so it was that quick, it was that easy, it's that much fun. I typically cover these with saran wrap. And I let my Galletta dough chill in the refrigerator up to 2 hours. So, very simple, okay? So, my hash infusion process for my Galletta is just about done. So let's go ahead and check on that real fast, see how we're doing. Oh yeah. This is exactly what you want to see. This is just beautiful. This is activated extremely well. Since we're making our Galletta, what I do is I add in my butter to the hot mix, and I add in my brown sugar And I'm just going to let this sit for a minute in that warm bowl and mix up. So while that's going, if we remember, we're also making peanut butter cups. So I want to go back to the peanut butter cups. Because I have hot water here, I'm going to take my insert, put it back on the stove top, turn my heat down to low. I would reuse my infusion bowl. My stoneware infusion bowl has just a little bit of hash left over in it. And let's add in 1 cup, excuse me. First thing you do, add in your 1 tablespoon of shortening to temper the chocolate. Okay, so we're going to stick that right in here to our bowl. And then we're going to add in the chocolate chips right over the top of it. Okay, so you haven't gone to any extra work, nothing else to clean. And what we're going to do is we're just going to put this right back in on the heat. We're going to stir the chocolate occasionally until it's completely melted, and then we'll take it off the heat, and it'll be very easy to play with. The glycerin doesn't, the shortening does an excellent job of keeping that chocolate together. You'll really enjoy the peanut butter cups. So since we're making a Galletta, let's get back to the Galletta. What I've done is I have mixed my hash, my butter, and my brown sugar together. And earlier, I sliced my peaches and my plums. You can use the skin, you can take the skin off, it's completely up to you. All I'm going to do now is just combine all this together. Okay, so very easily, let's just mix all this together in with the fruit. And while our chocolate's melting for the peanut butter cups, let's go ahead and roll out our dough for our fruit Galletta. So everything we've done, you can do at home. If you've noticed, nothing is difficult. Let me just get a few of these extra bowls out of the way. I really hope everyone has as much fun using the herb cooker as I do. The fact that I don't have to alter a recipe, that I can just follow the guidelines, add my hash infusion into the fats when possible, butters, oils, it makes it really easy. All I'm going to do is take out a floured pastry mat. I like to add a little bit of cornmeal. And then what I'm going to do is we're going to roll this out onto a pan. I like to use a round one. There we go. Set that to the side. And then we're just going to add in our chilled Galletta dough. Okay. So let's get a little bit of cornmeal on top of there. And take your time. It's been chilled, so it's cold, but it makes it very easy to work with. And we're just going to flatten this out. Okay. So, enjoy yourselves. Don't be intimidated. There's no real wrong or right way to do this. Everyone says, what if I'm making a mistake? It doesn't matter. It's still going to be good. All we're doing is we're just flattening out our dough. Okay. So, what we want is we want a nice center area to place our stone fruit. You can use fresh berries if you prefer. And then this is the easiest and hardest part all at the same time, is we're going to set our rolling pin, and we're going to bring the crust up so it comes around. We're going to roll this together lightly, I'm going to set my pan right here. I'm going to set this on the edge, and we're going to simply roll this back out just like that. See how it's overlapping? It's okay. It doesn't matter. The next thing we're going to do is we're just going to simply add all this fruit with that nice Ghost OG, beautiful hybrid, allowing you to relax, forget about the anxiety and the stress and everything else that's going on in the world. This will taste incredible. Between that brown sugar and that Ghost OG, oh man. Okay, all we're going to do now is we are going to flip our sides up and around the Galletta. So let's do the first side right here. Voila. Come up again. Okay. And then let's come up again. Okay. And then I'm just going to make a little, there we go. Open it up just a little tiny bit. Look how pretty that is. Now I am going to take just a little bit of honey and I'm going to drizzle this right over the top. This goes in a 350-degree oven for 40 minutes, just like this. I sprinkle cornmeal onto my pan before I put the Galletta on there. It makes it easier for sticking, so it doesn't stick when it's done. So there we go. And I'm just going to put this on a medium-high rack in my oven for 40 minutes. Let's get rid of our mess. So now we have a Galletta going. Let's see what we can do about making those peanut butter cups that everybody asked about. And yes, the semi-sweet chocolate peanut butter cups to boot. So, got a little bit of a mess here today. Okay. Just get a little bit of my garbage out. We're good. Now, let's check our chocolate, see how we're doing with our chocolate. Okay. Oh, beautiful. A lot of people tell me they have a difficult time tempering chocolate. We've let this go. We're stirring this up. I'll bring it over so you can see what it looks like. Our chocolate is almost done. We're just going to stir this up and put it back on the heat for just a couple more minutes. The nice thing is any of that extra hash that happened to be in the bottom of the bowl is now inside the chocolate. A little bit of a bonus, if you will. This is just about melted. So let's just set this here and get this back on the heat for just a couple more minutes. And what we're going to do is we're going to paint our peanut butter cups. So I'm going to paint a couple with you, and then I'll show you what they look like. Once you paint your peanut butter cups, they need to go into the refrigerator for about 20 minutes before you can work with them. So let's just check our hash, see how our chocolate, see how we're doing. Oh, beautiful. Okay. So we're going to take our melted chocolate and we are going to use a brush. And it's this easy to do. Hold this, dip your brush into the chocolate, use quite a bit so you can get cover the bottom nicely, and just paint your peanut butter cups. Okay, down one, and just continue to paint these. Ensure you put quite a bit of chocolate in the bottom. It gives it a little nice base for holding that infused peanut butter mixture that we're going to add inside. They don't have to be painted perfectly. Notice I messed a little bit on top, but when we fill it, all that chocolate will cover right up. So this is what you do. just keep doing this, painting. I get about 36 peanut butter cups out of a batch, for any of you that are wondering at home. And that's all you would do, is you just keep painting away until these are done. Once you've completed all of these need to go into the refrigerator for at least 20 minutes so that they can firm up. And what you're going to end up with is this right here. When you take them out of the refrigerator, if you notice, we have a nice base to each one of our cups filled with chocolate. And the next thing we're going to do is we're just going to take a regular spoon. And we're going to take a little bit of peanut butter mix, okay? And we're just going to press it right down inside the peanut butter cup. Just like this, okay? Use your fingers a little bit. Get a nice amount in there. Have fun with it. Oh, this is so good. You'll never want to buy peanut butter cups again after making your own. And hey, if you add a little bit of your favorite strain, just like we're adding in the Ghost OG, so much the better. But you know, THC loves fat, and you got to admit there is some fat inside these peanut butter cups. So all we're going to do is we're just going to keep filling these up. You'll get a feel for how much you can put into each cup. Smash it down a little bit. And keep going. Okay? So, now that I've done about a half a dozen of these, let me show you what you'll do next. Is we're going to take our chocolate, we're just going to take a spoon, and we're just going to fill the tops of each one of these up. Okay. See how easy this is? It's not difficult. These are going to be beautiful. If you can't find the mini cups, you can use a baker's, a cupcake, muffin tin type of container. If you can't find the smaller ones, you can also make these inside of little mugs if you want. If you make it inside a mug, make sure to spray just a little bit of Pam so that they won't stick to the bottom. Okay, see how easy this is? Oh, I love these. Okay, so we'll just keep filling these. If you get help, someone else to do this with you, it's even easier, a little bit more enjoyable. But can you imagine? Any time of year, peanut butter cups are wonderful. But for the holidays, you could make these, wrap these up, give these as gifts. Everyone would think that you were the most amazing person in the whole world. If you infuse them, don't forget to tell people that they were infused. Okay? There's very little bit of cannabis taste to this. I'm just going to throw this in the refrigerator for a couple minutes. Now, so everybody didn't have to wait 40 minutes with us today while we made all these different items. This is what our stone fruit Galletta looks like when it came out of the oven. Isn't this beautiful? It was so easy to make. Yes, a little more time consuming because the dough has to refrigerate, but that's about it. And there is no cannabis smell. It just tastes or smells like peaches and plums. So there's that. At the same time, we have our peanut butter cups. So it took us no time to infuse peanut butter cups and to make our very own stone fruit Galletta. You can order your very own herb cooker at theherbcooker.com. You can experience the difference, the revolutionary process for edibles at home. You don't have to strain anything. You don't have to put any cannabis in the oven. All you have to do is either make your own hash or go to your local dispensary and pick up hash. We picked up these 2 grams of Ghost OG down at Charlotte's Web in Long Beach. Hash is available out there. If you like what we're doing, leave us a comment, leave us a suggestion. If you have a recipe you'd like to see us infuse, let us know. You can order your very own herb cooker at theherbcooker.com. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Tell someone about the herb cooker. Buy your very own herb cooker. And see you next Wednesday. And remember, taste matters.